Alrighty, y'all, it's been a while since we took a look at some emergency vehicle action. In this case, transport. This is organ transport, so this is really high speed of much importance, and I believe this is in France, and I'm told that there's some interesting vehicles involved. So this is a Discord suggestion from, I believe, Sorties62. So thank you. Always good stuff from you. I appreciate it. Let's get straight into it. This is from a channel called Speed Care Logistics. It'll be linked in the description down below so you can watch the whole video uninterrupted and, of course, browse their channel. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have an Audi SUV with red and blues. That's pretty cool. Is this a freaking Durango? That looks exactly like a Dodge Durango. That's something I did not expect to see. I haven't seen that in any of my coverage of any emergency vehicles in really any country in Europe. That is definitely a Dodge Durango. Look at that. That is cool. It's got a, oh my God, it's got a brush guard in front, full light package, red and blues as well. That is interesting for me to see. I usually see always all blues, blue and whites. You don't see red and blues much, let alone a Durango. And he's taking the lead here. Wow, they're almost, these vehicles are interesting too. These transport vehicles, they're almost like they're like a satin or even a matte finish. Like, look at that. It's like a dark gray with no shine. So it must be vinyl wrapped or something. What a cool, that's like an American image there. I mean, we have tons of Durango police vehicles here. Look at the Euro plates. Wow. And those French sirens. Oh, how wild, man. Oh, that was a cool Euro truck there. Now, these are always interesting missions because you're dealing with, you know, I don't know the whole logistics or the whole scenario, but I realize that it's usually pretty important, pretty damn important. You got to be safe, of course, but you got to be fast. You know, this could be something, an organ transplant, or organ transport, rather. You know, this is pretty important stuff. And we've only seen a couple videos like this before, and they're usually intense. That Durango looks pretty good. That's so weird to see. So maybe they do sell these in France. You guys can weigh in on that. They're probably not as common as they are here. They're pretty popular naturally here in the U.S. As always, I love looking at the road markings, just the roads in general, kind of the way the buildings are, residential places, you name it. Of course, the traffic, the cars parked. Now, this is different to have a rear-facing camera. We usually see this from the front car, front-facing, so we don't get as much as eyes on what's going on in front of us, but that's all right. Coming into these intersections are always kind of freaky. Again, hats off to people that drive doing this kind of thing, man. Any sort of emergency responders. Very important job, and quite frankly, not as easy. I mean, no one says it's easy anyway, but not as easy as one would think. This is a hard job. A lot of pressure too, driving under these kind of conditions, scenarios. So, you know what? The traffic doesn't look terrible on this route compared to some I've seen. Some I've seen ambulance responses, for example, in the, you know, greater Paris area, and they're on the highway, for example, and boy, does that get intense. They run into some heavy traffic jams, and they got to weed their way through, and it's pretty spectacular. This isn't terrible, although they run into some traffic here. Look at that Durango and the Audi. Okay, coming up on a sharp turn. Whoa, look at how narrow that gets. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's pretty narrow compared to most American streets. Naturally. So many weird looking hatchbacks parked on the side of the road. That's what's so fascinating to me. Okay, so we've had a pretty smooth ride here. Honestly, amazing work. Not crazy amount of traffic or anything. We did skip around. Of course, use that link down there. Watch the whole thing. Check them out. I think we're coming up on the end here. Yep. That's where the footage cuts, is right here. So they must be pulling in pretty soon where they need to be. But, yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool. Not the craziest on the edge of your seat scenario that we've seen before, but certainly a pretty smooth delivery. Really cool to see the Audi. If we go back here to the beginning, you know, we see the Audi Q5 there. It looks really sharp. It's kind of cool seeing them pull out of this enclosed area here. I'm not actually sure what the camera vehicle is. It sounds good. You can almost hear a rumble to it. But, yeah, the Audi looks sharp. And then the surprise for me was seeing that Durango. I mean, that's just wild to me. Yeah, there it is, those LEDs. That interesting taillight design they've had for a while. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. Just seeing the vehicles in general. The red and blues. The transport. So, like, for example, this outfit here. Equipment. I mean, this is obviously in French, I think, and I'm not going to try and butcher that pronunciation. But, yeah, I don't know if this is like a government entity or if it's a actual, you know, company that gets contracts for this type of thing. I'm not really sure. Maybe you would like to weigh in on that. So I don't know the processes of choosing their cars and how they're modified and all these different things are. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool seeing that, right? The red and blues. The Dodge Durango, I mean, it's pretty different than the normal lineup you might see in some of the other emergency vehicles lineup from different countries throughout Europe. So I think that was kind of cool, and I think that might have been why this was suggested, because it's something different. So I definitely appreciate that. I'd like to really get on the grind again with some cool emergency vehicle content. It's been on the back burner a little bit lately, so I do apologize. Yeah, keep up those awesome suggestions. We're going to get back into these. So yeah, I guess that's going to be it for this one. I really do appreciate you being here. I hope your weekend is going great as it's almost over. Unfortunately, they always fly by. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all, stay safe out there. I'll catch you later.